You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Road Rants for Black and White Sports. Before we get started with the video, I would like to have a 10-second moment of silence for the 2,974 people that lost their lives on 9/11 19 years ago. And I would like to do that starting right now. We've got to remember the men and women from 9/11 and all the pain that day caused this country, and people are still losing their lives over it. From medical issues stemming from 9/11. It's one of the things that makes me so furious about the idea of defunding the police after first responders were so brave that day. Okay, on to the video. Dolphins announced that they will stay inside the locker room during the national anthem, lift every voice, and sing rendition. Okay, so the Dolphins have decided they're going to stay in the locker room for both the national anthem and the Black national anthem. They did release a video. We are going to go ahead and show that video, and you guys check it out right now.
Is it authentic? That's the mystery.
Or is it just another symbolic victory?
Now there's two anthems. Do we kneel? Do we stand?
If we could just right our wrongs, we wouldn't need two songs.
We don't need another publicity parade.
So we'll just stay inside.
Until it's time to play the game.
Whatever happened to the funds that were promised? All of a sudden we got a collapsed pocket?
The bottom line should not be the net profit.
You can't open your heart when it's controlled by your wallet.
Decals and patches?
Fireworks and trumpets?
We're not puppets.
Don't publicize false budgets. Ask the pundits and we shouldn't have a say.
If you speak up for change, then I'll shut up and play.
If we remain silent, that would just be selfish.
Since they don't have a voice, we're speaking up for the helpless.
It's not enough to act like you care for the troops.
Millions for pregame patriotism. You get paid to salute.
Lift every voice and sing.
It's just a way to save face.
Lose the mask and stop hiding the real game face.
So if my dad was a soldier, but the cops killed my brother, do I stand for one anthem and then kneel for the other?
This attempt to unify only creates more divide.
So we'll skip this song and dance.
And as a team, we'll stay inside.
We need changed hearts, not just a response to pressure.
Enough. No more fluff and empty gestures.
We need owners with influence and pockets bigger than ours.
To call up officials
and flex political power.
When education is not determined by where we reside.
And we have the means to purchase what the doctor prescribed.
And you fight for prison reform and innocent lives.
And you repair the communities that were tossed to the side.
And you admit you gained from it and you swallowed your pride.
And when greed is not the compass, but love is the guide.
And when the courts don't punish skin color, but punish the crime.
Until then, we'll just skip the long production and stay inside.
For centuries, we've been trying to make you aware.
Either you're in denial or just simply don't really care.
It's not a black-white thing.
Or a left-right thing.
Let's clean the whole bird.
And stop arguing about which wing.
Before the media starts wondering and guessing, they just answered all your questions. We'll just stay inside.
Okay, so it's pretty clear the Dolphins believe they're doing the right thing here. I have decided I disagree with it. Okay, I initially thought, you know what, stay in the locker room. I don't want to see it. But at the end of the day, after seeing the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs had the guts to come out and stand up and lock arms for the national anthem, I want all the teams to do that. I just think they broke narrative of the way the media is portraying that they're supposed to be doing this. I'll tell you why everybody has such a problem with what's going on in sports right now. A, we don't want politics really and truly from either side in sports. Sports is an escape for people's enjoyment, right? the other issue is you're pushing a false narrative. You're pushing a false narrative that media companies like CNN have pushed in the face and targeted a certain group of people with. Those media companies like MSNBC and CNN have been preaching the fact that people were oppressed and that police brutality is actually a thing, that black people are being hunted by the police, and that's what's led to so much unrest in this country. And that's simply a false narrative. It's a false narrative. The statistics do not back that up whatsoever. And there's far more people in the black community killed from black-on-black crime than from police brutality. And almost every case of police brutality, there's non-compliance and resistance of arrest involved. Okay? People literally went out and protested Hakeem Littleton in Detroit. He pulled a gun and shot at police, and they shot and killed him. And protesters that weren't even from Detroit, by the way, showed up in town, George Soros, and began protesting over a guy that pulled a gun and shot at the cops. Okay? People don't want to see this. Okay? Fox News did a poll, or they showed a poll where 42% of Americans did not want to see any sort of protesting during the game. And people will say, well, but the majority. Well, you need to understand something. 42 out of 100 customers don't want to see it. That's a huge number. A huge number, okay? We're talking, out of 100,000, 42,000 people don't want to see it. And the NFL sort of turning a blind eye to it. Now, we watched, I know we tried to watch the game last night, and once the game started, it just became a football game. Whereas in the NBA, you can't go up and down the court without seeing Black Lives Matter all over the court. Or when they show the bench, guys wearing Black Lives Matter shirts, okay? So that is probably the biggest difference I've seen between the NFL and the NBA. Clay Travis last night was like, he thought the NFL handled the social issues better. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but I will say at least during actual play itself, we just got to the game, whereas the NBA has left you no choice. It's one continuous social justice virtue signaling through the entire game, no matter what. No matter what. You can't get away from it. And in turn, the NBA's ratings have tanked. No, we feel like you should come out and like I said, I think the Kansas City Chiefs handled it a different way. I initially thought yesterday, you know what? Stay in the locker room because I don't want to see you kneeling, blah, blah, blah. I don't agree with it. So just stay in the locker room before the game. But after seeing the Chiefs had the guts to come out and stand up and lock arms for the national anthem, I changed my mind on that. I think that's how it should be done. Okay, they had one player kneel, Alex Okafor, but the rest of the Chiefs stood, looked. I guess they showed the flag, or there's a flag in the stadium. They stood, all looked at it, and they respected the country in that moment. Okay, and that's really and truly what we want to see as sports fans. You cannot. People are preaching a false narrative. And Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, allowed this. And my feeling is he felt like he didn't have a choice. He tried to do a fundraiser for Trump last year, and the media crucified him. And he was called a Nazi. He was called a racist. Blah, 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 because, yeah, he supports Donald Trump. And most of these owners do, actually. Most of these owners are friends with Donald. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on it. I went ahead and played the video. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. Make sure you check out our podcast. There is a link in the description for said podcast. All of our audio from our live streams goes on that podcast, and I believe very soon we are actually going to take all of the audio from our videos, and that will also go over there in many episodes. Channel's growing like crazy. Check out channel memberships. Peace. I'm out. Till next.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.